Night 5. The contestants consisted of Jackie Kelly, Jaskaran Singh, Erica Hossack. Now this would be one heck of a competition. Jackie Kelly won the most money in a single day since Amy Schneider, $54,800 on a third day, and is actually one of 5 players to score over $50,000 in that season. Since Stain Raggard lost to Ender He, that means Jackie Kelly is one of only 4 players to win over $50,000 in season 38. It's set to be the season of the Super Champions. I guess it was also the season of potential Super Champions. Jaskaran Singh won the National College Championship tournament. I didn't see any of the matches, so I don't know how he did as a player exactly. Erica Hossack achieved runaway status in 5 of his 6 games. Amy Schneider was the only other player to do so this season. He found 13 of the 15 daily doubles in his first week, and answered 11 of them correctly. His third game of which was back-to-back, the first time since Amy Schneider's 24th game, and he defeated Super Champion Ryan Long. It's between Jackie and Eric, and I honestly don't know who to root for. Sorry, Jaskaran. Ken Jennings' instruction was, welcome back to the Tournament of Champions. In yesterday's game, 4-8 champion John Vogt made the most of the 2 daily doubles in the Double Jeopardy round. This will be important for later. Cruising into Final Jeopardy with the first runaway game of the tournament. I didn't even notice. Today we welcome 3 more great champs in Eric, Jaskaran, and Jackie, each of whom is hoping to punch their ticket into the semifinals. Before Ken introduced the categories, he said, let's go to work, as Alex used to say. We're reaching the anniversary of his death. This is the second Tournament of Champions without him. I'm sure he'd be so proud to see all these great champions. One of the categories was Champions of Tournaments. A 4-team called Wildcard 1 swept to victory at the 2022 Tim Hortons Brier Canada's Championship of this. The answer was curling, which was on Ken's long list of what Canada is known for in the preamble to Mateo Roach's 10th game.
Jaskaran, it was Rapino? Yes. Champions of...
Why does that name keep coming up? I noticed Jackie selected the bottom questions of the categories. That's what someone pointed out in the comments on my original video of Jackie, which I didn't notice until the comment was posted. She was mimicking Matt Amodio's style. Dog! Jackie got the first daily double. She made her true daily double. Ken told her that's probably the right thing to do. She answered correctly and went to $6,000.
Because of its longer front legs, this tall dinosaur was...
Tall dinosaur? Isn't that redundant? That's like saying tiny ants. Jackie had a party. Yes, I grew up in Philly and I went to watch my first game, and I come from a large family with die-hard Philly sports fans, and they told me that my run on Jeopardy was more exciting than the Phillies winning the World Series and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I'm not sure I really believe them, but it was still very nice to hear that. Ken told her, from the world's toughest crowd, Philadelphia sports fans. Since Jackie won $54,800 in a single day, I'd say it's pretty exciting. You should believe them, Jackie, because your games were on par with Matt and Amy. Speaking of sports, Jaskaran was invited to a basketball game. I was invited to a University of Texas basketball game, which is a ton of fun, and I got to meet the coach and the players in the locker room, and had a bunch of fun there, and we won the game, so that was cool. But also I got a hug from my favorite restaurateur in Austin, a little hole in the wall called China Family on Guadalupe, and she recognized me. She was like, oh, you're on TV, and Kim gave me a hug. Ken told him, that's the kind of thing money can't buy. There's a restaurant a few kilometers away from where I live. It shut down in July, and I was devastated. I didn't know until it was far too late. I want a hug from the owner, too. She was so sweet. Also, even though I already did a video on Jaskaran Singh, this is the first time I heard him talk, and I could tell how authentic his accent is. Like Margaret Shelton. Eric got to speak in a radio broadcast in Minneapolis. Now that I heard this interview, he actually does have a good radio voice. A visual aid following pie, and newspaper slang following nuts. Eric but then answered, what is chart? Then said graph, slightly after Ken already said no. Jaskaran answered, what is graph? Which I felt bad about. Reminds me of Luigi de Guzman's 4th game. And similar to how the first round ended, MythCon 19 in 1988 had as a guest of honor this Always Come Home fantasy author and was held in Berkeley, her birthplace. Harriet buzzed and answered, who is Angela Le Guin? Then tried changing her answer to Ursula Le Guin right after Ken told her she was correct. Ken subsequently told Harriet, you remember that her name is Ursula, but I'm afraid I'd already begun ruling against you when you corrected yourself. Jaskaran ended the first round winning $5,800 after answering graph. Eric was in third place at $2,600, and Jackie was barely in the lead at $6,000. In the 18th century, the Apache lost dominance to this other people whose name ends with the same 3 letters. The answer was Comanche, which was also one of the answers on Ryan Long's second game. Works by her are quoted under Cup of Tea and Gray Cells and Motive. The answer was Christie, as in Agatha Christie. I think Motive was a novel mentioned in Chris Panullo's fifth game. Eric got the first daily double in Double Jeopardy. He made it a true daily double because he has nothing to lose. He answered it correctly and went to $11,600.
He got both daily doubles.
He got a back-to-back daily double. In true Roger Craig style, he made it a true daily double as the audience gasped.
Let's do it again. True daily double.
Are you kidding me? Okay, here we go. For $23,200 if you're correct.
He got it right again and went to $23,200. The audience cheered.
Of the Marshall Plan fame, that's correct. Suddenly you have 4 times your...
I love how when Ken said John made the most of his daily doubles in Double Jeopardy, Eric took it a step further. No, 2 steps further. I just noticed now, this is the highest anyone bet on a daily doubles in the tournament, and the most in Mark Elliott did in Chris Panullo's 8th game. The first line of the Canterbury Tales is quoted under the entry for this month. First of all, how many times is the Canterbury Tales going to appear? Second, April is the month after Jackie Kelly lost, March 31st. This website, named for a family of Faulkner books, debunks false claims and checks on all sorts of subjects. The answer was Snopes. They debunk false claims because I looked up urban legends and there are different variables that aren't even addressed. Maybe the question should have said, it says to debunk false claims. Jackie ended Double Jeopardy winning $19,600. Jaskarn was in 3rd place at $11,000, and Eric was in late at $26,000. Jackie Kelly won that much even after the big daily doubles. That proves how strong of a player she is. I'm a little worried for Eric. Remembering how he only answered 2 out of the 7 daily doubles correctly, this means Jackie still has a chance at winning. The final Jeopardy category was World Cities. The question was, the name of this city may come from Dur, meaning water, a reference to the Helvetian people's settlement on a lake. I know Dur is hard in French. Settlement on a lake. The answer was Zurich. That should have been more obvious to me. Yes, Helvetians were the ancient Swiss. The final Jeopardy asked about Switzerland. Just the other day on Tuesday's game, the daily double question Christine Walchel got asked about Switzerland. How fun is that? Jaskarn wagered $2,201, taking it to $13,201. Jackie risked $6,401, taking her down to $13,199, just $2 short. Jaskarn defeated Jackie in a similar way, and her defeated Jonathan earlier this week. Well, it wouldn't matter though, because there's no difference between 2nd and 3rd place. Eric wagered $13,201, taking his final score to $39,201, the highest anyone won at the tournament. And I love how Eric wagered the same amount Jaskarn ended up scoring. He's now a semi-finalist.
And as always, thank you for watching.